So obviously going into your final home weekend, and season's coming down to a wire. Kind of what's going through your mind, and how are you getting ready for this weekend?
I would say we're definitely all really excited. Like, there are two huge games this weekend, both our top 10 opponents. So we definitely want to end the season strong, and definitely the rest of the team wants to build for next year and for the future of the program. So it's definitely a really big weekend for us.
Does it feel like it's gone by as fast or doesn't?
Yeah, no, it feels like it's gone by really fast. Like, before I blinked, like, I'm already a senior, already going to the last weekend. Like, this year and my whole 4 years definitely flew right by.
How do you use last two losses to build going into this weekend?
Yeah, I would definitely say last weekend, like, we got around more than 30 shots against Princeton, who is like the top team in our league, so we can definitely use that as motivation for this weekend, just showing that we can play against anyone when we play our game.
When you talk about a career, when you're sophomore, you're like, well, I got 2 more years. When you're junior, you got 1 more year. You've seen other seniors go through it. But now that you're there, does it almost feel a little surreal?
Yeah, it feels really surreal. Like, I don't even feel like I'm a senior, honestly. Like, I feel like after this weekend, like, I'm going to start training for next year. So it's really weird that, like, I won't be doing that anymore.
How do you try to embrace the final 2 games?
I would say I'm just, like, this week, like, I'm just having a blast, like, during every practice, like, every skills session, like, during the games. I'm just going to, like, leave it all on the ice and just have as much fun as I can.
When you leave the program now, what will you leave? What will your fondest memory be?
I don't know. That's a hard one. I just say, like, that I've made so many best friends, like, through the program here and just on the team that, like, I'll have forever. And just, like, all the memories of our road trips, like, singing karaoke on the bus, just, like, our locker room dances. Like, there's just so much that I'll remember and I'll cherish forever.
Is it an emotional weekend, knowing that you have 2 more games left?
I know, it hasn't, like, hit me yet, but definitely, like, my whole family's coming. Like, I have a couple of friends that are flying in, so it'll definitely, like, hit me when I see everyone there and, like, my posters around. It'll definitely hit me.
Where are they flying from?
What?
Where are they flying from?
My friend is from Maryland, so she's flying up, and then I'm from Massachusetts, so all my family's, like, driving in.
How many, roughly, would you say will be here to watch you?
I don't, like, 20, I would say, probably.
How important is it to finish out your last 2 games, as well as just as a team with 2 wins?
Yeah. No, it's definitely huge. Like, that's all we're thinking about all week is just trying to pull out 2 wins this weekend and just going out and, like, leaving everything on the ice, like, every shift. Like, the season's over after Saturday, so you want to leave I want to leave a legacy, and everyone wants to leave this year on a positive note.
Would it feel weird taking the uniform off for the last?
Yeah, no, it definitely will.
You thought about that?
No, I'm trying not to, you know.
How tough is it when you have to do it every year, but when seniors go?
It's hard, it's hard to especially losing someone of Ari's caliber and what she's meant to the team over the course of our 3 years here as a staff and over the course of her 4 years, and it's hard. It's hard to see that person go, and the one thing that you hear from the seniors is it ends so abruptly. You go into your last weekend and you're kind of going through your academics that week. You're preparing for practice. You're getting ready for the games, and then that last buzzer sounds and it's over, and it ends abruptly for them. So it's always tough to see them go. Certainly, you lose a good player and someone that's a leader on our team. So it's always hard to see those seniors leave.
Do some handle it better than others? The end of a career?
Yeah, I would say, some definitely handle it better. Certainly it's always emotional, that the families are always emotional going through it. Some are able to handle those and manage those emotions better than others throughout that last weekend or through the later stages of their season. I think it's always something that they, handle as a memorable event and something they look forward to. And you could hear Ari just is really passionate about the game, and I think she's really looking forward to her last weekend here.
as a coaching staff, do you guys think about this like throughout the season, or maybe like the off season? You guys know, okay, we just lost 3 or 4 girls. Now we've got to find someone to replace, or something that's in the back of your mind, like during the season, I'm going to lose these girls at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think it's always part of the recruiting front, right? We're always understanding, hey, we've got to make sure that we continue to, fill these holes when these people leave their program. And, certainly we plan for that, hopefully years in advance if we can, as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, it's always hard to lose key pieces of your team and key pieces of your leadership and your culture. And we try and plan for that as much as we can. And sometimes there's different players that make such an impact on your program that, for whatever reason, might be a little bit irreplaceable at times for different ways and different things. But certainly we plan for it.
And I asked her as well, how important is it to leave the season with 2 wins, maybe even just 1?
I think it's huge. I think it would be great for our program. I mean, you look at the career records against both these teams that we're playing this weekend, both top 10 teams, 2 teams that we already played on the road and, didn't have a lot of success against when we were there. But certainly I think our team's motivated. They want the challenge. And I think, obviously, she'd love to leave on a good note with doing something that the program's never done and beating, these teams and taking advantage of her senior weekend and make it the most memorable that she can make it. Yeah, it goes by quickly. And, your nose is down, your head's down, and you're working and trying to get better every single day. But it goes by quickly. And, I know we only play 34 regular season games, and you're practicing every day, and it flies by. So it's hard to imagine that the season is at the end, and we're already in February. Felt like we just had training camp, basically.
Can you kind of characterize what you think you have coming in next year for the incoming class?
Yeah, so obviously we're graduating just 1 this year. We're bringing in 6, potentially 7 when it's all said and done. And, we wanted to make a point to recruit some players next year that are coming from winning cultures, kids that have been successful players in those winning cultures, and people that we feel like are going to continue to come in here and produce. And we feel pretty confident about our 19 class that are going to come in here. They're going to add a big piece to our locker room culture. But they're going to be kids that we're going to look to play in different situations for us, power play, PK, and be people that we rely on for production. So we're really excited for that. They're not just going to be depth people. They're going to be people that we're looking to be building blocks for the future in terms of production.
What are your, expectations? Like, you bringing in 6 or 7, it's going to be a new team, whether they sit out or they play, of course. Do you expect them to perform the way you want them to perform, right away, a few weeks, a few months?
Yeah, I think there's always an adjustment phase for freshmen. I think they come in, they've got to get acclimated academically to the school here. They've got to adjust in terms of being on a new team, being a freshman in a new culture. But I think our upperclassmen do a good job of that, taking them under their wing and creating an environment where they can succeed right away. Our expectation as coaches when they hit the ice is, they're going to be put into situations that might be a little bit uncomfortable for them, but they've got to adjust. And our expectation is that they're ready to play and be a big contributor from day one. So they're going to learn a lot, and they're going to learn. It's going to be a lot of trial and error right off the bat, but our expectations and their expectations are to come in and make an influence and an impact on our team from day one.
What do you expect out of the team this weekend? Obviously, 1 you're pretty familiar with, and 2, second team is top 5 in the country. So what do you expect to see?
Yeah, I think both teams are going to be very hungry this weekend. You got 2 teams that are in the top 4. Probably with Cornell especially looking to be someone that has a chance to win the league, for the season as well. So I think both teams are going to be hungry for 2 wins. I think Colgate, we went up 2-0 last time we played them early in the game. And, we're working on some things this week that I think will help us prepare in terms of how we break pucks out, how we can attack through the neutral zone, and hopefully how we can defend them a lot better than what we did in that game too. And then against Cornell, they're a fast team, and we've got to be better in transition against them. I thought we made a lot of mistakes that gave them a lot of scoring chances, and they converted on them. So 2 really talented teams that we got to be prepared to skate and compete against. But I know both teams will be hungry for wins against us this weekend.
Looking back at your season, a few takeaways, good or bad?
A couple good takeaways. I think, our teams continue to evolve offensively. We're evolving in terms of how we implement our D into our offensive scheme. looking to have D that are comfortable handling pucks below the offensive hash marks and goal line. We're creating a lot of offense, I think, still from our blue line and our defensemen in general. Our defensive game is still continuing to evolve on the ice. And I think what we're looking for now to the future, and something that is a takeaway too, is just the culture in the locker room and how we're developing leaders and younger leaders that are going to continue that trend, hopefully for the future. And I think we've had a good core of junior leaders right now that I think are going to help push our team forward, in the off season and continue to promote the kind of values and standards and expectations that we have for our team. So it's exciting to hopefully be able to implement more people into that group. But the takeaway, we have everybody coming back virtually. We're going to add 6 or 7 more pieces to that puzzle. So I'm excited for what everybody does now this weekend and in the off season, and see what they're ready to do coming back for next year. Because having the same group that went through this year, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs, I think is exciting, because now we have to be able to create a new standard for our team. We have to push forward. Our kids have to have higher expectations. We have to have new standards for our team to be able to push forward. And we want to be a playoff team. We want to push forward and we want to compete in the playoffs. We don't want to be shut down at the end of February. We want to be playing in that first playoff weekend every year. And in order to do that, I think our team needs to take a giant leap forward in terms of what we're doing in the off season.